So we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are this morning, this evening. This is the Diaspora Informative News Network, where we keep the news proportional, fair, balanced, objective, but also painful in its context. A lot is unfolding, is here, right here. Well, let's see here quickly. As usual, the liberal on this network is standing by, and we're going to be having something is happening within his own system. He does not have the guts to talk about it. He decided to stay away. This is how they get things derailed in the country. When it is against them, or when they do not favor the conversation, they zip up, they quiet, act like they don't know what is happening. But we have to put finger in their throats and bring them here, because it's about Liberia. No one should gamble the future of the country. It's a sovereign nation. Politicians, I'm wondering who these people are and what they really offer for doing. We're going to have some critical conversation. And of course, you will also be part of this talking point, because they do not want you to know. They do not want you to talk about it. They act like everything is okay, well, when it is not. That's how they will behave when they take power tomorrow. They will silence you. They will create a dominance over your and make you to be like a slave master to them because they don't want you to form part of the conversation. Unfortunately, there are some that have the guts. It's good that we are not part of that. Oh, I know he's pinning Beyonce backstage here. Man, my county was swept today. Maryland beat us 1-0. Wow. Where are the Zoes? They call themselves Zoes. Where are they? And they allow that neck, that goalpost to fall into it. But I can tell you, Team Jida will come back strong. Yeah, 1-0 home front. This is to show that there's no home away. No, 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 no. If you can't make it, you just can't make it. But I'm confident in the second leg, in the second. You know, when you are a host, you got to make the strangers to feel at home, right? Giving justification to the defeat. Now, can you imagine that? You got to make the stranger to feel at home. We got to make them to feel they are part of the process. Let's get the conversation going. Welcome. Okay, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your evening to morning hour with us, wherever you are. Let me bring in the liberal progressive of Business Network, liberal Samson Bloku Branto. His political party is in mayhem, disarray, and he decided not to talk about it. Just bringing on as we. Oh my goodness, boy, man, get dry here. The trouble that oh hey, acting like nothing going on. But man, please, you don't transfer your problem to our flag. All right, we got a lot to deal with. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Soul. Good evening.
Yeah.
I don't know why my system is so vibrant today. It's so it's crisp. Everything's standing out. I can hear myself. I can hear you clearly. There's no two-way street about it. Good evening, Mr. Soul. Thank you very much for having the liberal on again tonight.
Welcome. What are you hugging my flag for?
Excuse me?
What are you hugging my flag? You trying to pass the virus from the Liberty Party to the flag of the Republic of Liberia?
There is no virus in Liberty Party. Liberty Party is a party of integrity. Liberty Party is the party of the strong. Please, I don't believe your subject matter here tonight should focus on Liberty Party because we then LPR clock is going to be clean tonight. If that is the case, because Liberty Party is on the 14, good foundation. The political leader before he passed, he laid out a specific structure for this party. So the party going nowhere.
The man that is dying, going, he put it down and then he went by his business. Is that what you want to tell us?
No, he made a specific. He put structure in place for Liberty Party. So
this is something to you too good for that. Let's not start. Don't start with me here this evening because Venetius is already pissed up with you. Somebody that is there going and put up something say you'll stick with it, you'll live with it for the rest of for the life of the loan, and that's why you live with as well. Something to
Mr. So look, let's be sincere here for a minute. The chicken is coming home to roost in Liberty Party, but that's okay because Liberty Party is a strong party, that's for sure. Back in the days, and I will say this, you know me, I got no cover to my mouth. Back in the days when the late councillor,
I'm afraid I'm going to seal it up here this evening. Rest assured, that cover that is always
you cannot seal this.
Things, we're going to put it up here. Who's calling us so quick? So we have not even started the conversation. Just hold on for it, but go ahead, Mr. Todd.
So back in the days when everything was going on, Liberty Party members USA had planned before Flati Kofar went home to be one of the most powerful chairmen of a political party in Liberia.
The Kofar that we CDC now?
Yes. Yes. So before he went home, we were
I
all
love like
together.
a mean by me. Let's get the conversation. Okay, welcome as usual to Liberal Progressive here. Let's bring you the quick news key up here. The trouble is everywhere. The G7 nations now in collaboration giving a strong warning for Russia, if in an attempt for the second time to invade Ukraine, there will be a serious consequences according to the G7 summit. Al Jazeera is reporting. And yeah, we are what is coming from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A professor of political economic and management expert, Pat Otuman, says Nigeria at the moment is not being governed. Are you kidding me? So where is Muhammadu Buhari? Nigeria at the moment is not being governed. Something to Mr. To, this whole thing here, the whole ballot and shenanigan is just all over the place. That's a professor. They say, hey, at this present time, the country is not being governed. Let's come back home here. We need to clean our own eyes before we even go to the next neighboring. So yes, you were in the make talking here. I just want to make sure get your pieces in order.
Thank you. So as I was saying, several on several occasions, meeting held, and strategy was put in places and asked. However, when the political leader at the time, the late Constable Bronsky, went back to Liberia, the situation then changes dramatically because people that we thought will be welcome in a Liberty Party, but at a certain distance, because characters for us, those of us that believe in Liberty Party and believe in Constable Bronsky, characters was the bigger thing that we were fighting for. Remember, there was a
Did I hear
stigma.
you saying taught here, not to interrupt you? Did I hear you say we taught?
No, I said that's what we believe in. And
The,
remember those
the
days,
way
there
you
was a
put it.
statement of Councillor Bronsky being, when he was president pro tem, they said, there was some sort of forces of an agreement, forces status of agreement, and there were certain group wanted to come in. He wanted them to sign certain agreement so that Liberian
Oh,
would benefit from that, and that status agreement turned into some sort of a nightmare for the counselor. And we all were out here doing our best, defending the counselor and defending the position he was in at the time. However, the problem was we were hoping that once he gets on the
who
ground,
are you make we? I'm not part of that.
well, I'm not. You're not a member of the most powerful and most respectable party in Liberia. But
Nations is
anyhow,
not part of that. Seva is not part of that party. You pulling
Mr.
Paul and
So Liberty
Brown.
Party, if you will
Which
let me in,
Eugene Hammond, they are not part of Liberty Party. So
it
just
doesn't
can
matter.
you just
Liberty
say
Party
ask
scheme.
something to
So when the councillor got on the ground, there were those who were able to influence the situation and let other people into the party without actually being vetted. And so when Councillor Bronsky passed, those who came into the party, specifically Musa Ability,
oh
I
yeah.
don't believe
But
he
this
was
is
vetted.
why all of this whole playing
Let
I'm
me finish.
also going to tell you now is
Specifically, Musa Ability, I don't believe that he
use
was vetted.
Paul Musa is being
No,
paying his
listen carefully. I don't believe Musa Ability was truly vetted when he came in. However, he was accepted by hierarchy of Liberty Party Liberia. He was accepted
on the
and and
basis.
and said that we're going to work together because this is the party that he also believed in. Now, since he became political chairman of the political party, there's always been wrangling and here and there. I'm not too sure exactly what is going on. So, to be honest with you, Mr. So, in as much as I am a fully, duly registered member of Liberty Party, and you have my registration paper with you, uh, a duly registered member of Liberty Party USA, that is. I am a little bit taken aback to see that these people, educated people who believe in a system, are unable to even have an ounce of compromise in them. They're going to now do their best to have this good party split And here's what I'm predicting. The split in Liberty Party will come into section line. Watch, and you will say Samson told say you're gonna have a faction that will be called the Bassa, because they started that
faction.
the Bassa Liberty Party. And I hate to say this, but then you're gonna have another faction that's gonna be called the Mandingo Liberty Party. And those of all who are none of those factions will be left on the side. And here is what's going to happen to the Liberty Party. If these people, if the Dallas Dillon, my political leader, Yomri Kakan, the Honorable Yomri Kakan Lawrence, and Honorable Musa Ability are unable to bring this thing to a speedy halt, they will find a flight, intellectual flight from Liberty Party, because nobody wants to be pushed around and nobody wants to stick around and make a fun of. And here we are here, Liberty Party, that is so much of a good party. Now we have people fighting and carrying on with no reason. What exactly are they fighting for? Why can't they compromise? Why can't they have a discussion? These people are educated. These people are these are leaders of Liberia. And then they're going to sit there and call each other criminal. This is ridiculous and unacceptable.
You know?
Mr. So, you know me. I don't bite my tongue. I don't, but I have to be careful in coming late. I have to be careful how I run my mouth here, because who knows, I might find myself in Liberia sooner or later. So I will be very gentle on how I run my mouth here.
All right, you're anybody you're more used so scary thing behind it. Okay, look. This is quite fascinating. So I've been following it, and I'm just going to take it from the point of discussions with the limited information that I have. Hopefully, you being a member of the Liberty Party, however, you always put the hope there to provide a breathing room of escape. USA. I hope USA will be adequately informed, and we hope to engage our audience here as well, as usual is our tradition. Because what is unfolding in the country, it's just not Liberty Party. And I said that before. Anything happens within, whether in the CDC or the collaborative party or any political party, that is a major actor in the Liberian political discourse, we must be concerned, because the attitude, the tolerance of these people can potentially cross over to national government, and we will get ourselves into problem. However, this is what we say. You guys jump into things, you don't investigate, you didn't ask, and you eluded it here. You made a cruel convention here. Oh, they're making, and apparently they didn't vet, they didn't do this, do that. So on what basis here? But what I do know, in as much my own opinions or views about these political leaders, your leader you so dearly believe in, Nyombi Kanga Lauren, who did a terrible job that get this whole CPP into chaos, and you yet to admit that, I strongly believe there's a different concept within the political systems in the country as to how political parties are perceived. I vehemently, with the limited information that I have, taken a universal line. The owner of a political institution is the standard bearer. However, because of you guys, you compromised yourself, you were all broke, and you saw Musa ability with the financial capability, financial power, you brought him in, and he helped to give you guys the authority of some of the positions, like the Dallas Dillon. And he was crying, preaching here on OKFM here the other day, like a gospel man. No, I don't buy into that. You're always trying to manage crisis when crisis, you can't even manage it effectively. Now we are hearing Belete going to be having a convention in Nima. So I agree with your talking point that if sooner or later, Liberty Party, one wing going to be the grand master wing of is Darius DeLon and Yomdi Kanga Lauren, who is desperately fighting to be a vice president. So when there is no even candidate here, that itself is ridiculous. And you have the Liberty Party Belete wing, were potentially going to be going to Nimana for their convention. That division is already there. These are people who want to take state power. Now, What are you looking up to? What is the key point now to the labor you are observing, seeing what is going on in your party? I'm sure you will be rolling overnight. Charles Bronski is spinning in his grave. May his soul rest in peace to see what is happening, where all this came from.
Mr. So, like I said, I've been around, and I'm privileged to a lot of things here in the United States. That is, when there was a retreat at one time, and the issue of money with respect to Liberty Party came forefront, because to be honest with you, Liberty Party, it's not a rich party, and Councillor Bruskin has been doing his best to flip the bills of the Liberty Party most of the time. Yeah.
That's he's as an individual, correct?
Yes, yes. At the same time, member of Liberty Party USA here, we used to have our own contribution, huge amount of money from individual, thousands, thousands. I know that for a fact. There are some today, not that they are broke, but there are some today that have spent so much money on Liberty Party. If I were to name them, you won't even believe it. But I'm not going to. The point here is
You
this.
always shield people.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The point here, Mr. So,
because you
the
never want to call
point,
anybody name.
Mr.
This is not a
So,
society breach.
I'm not going to call name. The point here, Mr. So, is this. When the issue of money came up, Flanty Kofa made a statement at the retreat that we, Liberty Party, we have some serious intellectual among us that are of business-minded people among us. Why don't we, as Liberty Party, come up with some sort of a strategy to generate funds legally? That was Kofa's idea, and many of us bought into that.
That is, I think he was making a sense of to register a lobbyist group to
Yes, certainly, whatever. But we were supposed to come together, and then there are big people, big names that are still here in the United States.
What are some of those names?
I'm not going to do that.
Are they?
Anyhow, we left the meeting with the understanding that's what we were going to do. We were supposed to write a proposal and pass it on to folks to be able to have the information, what have you. However, when Councillor Bronsky got back to Monrovia, the issue of money then started coming front again. However, this time around, there was news that were coming from Liberty Party Liberia. Certain group were coming in, people with money, and one of those names that came up at the time was Mosability. So once again, the group here in the United States, at that time, Mosability had this stuff hanging over his head about the FIFA situation, things. And then the question many of us had with for Councillor Bronsky was, Councillor Bronsky, in fact, if you remember, during the 2005 election, that he was so much involved into Christianity that he believes God will help him to win the election, and that he's not going to bribe or do anything. That's how much clean his character was. So the question we have for him at the time was, Boss, we call him Bossman, by the way. Bossman, why with your, that's just the name we call him affectionately. So why were your characters such as this? We want to be with Musa ability, even having been proven guilty or anything like that. But look at the kinds of situation that he's in. Nobody know what he's done there, but he has been suspended. For this long. Now, if you're going to do this and be with them, if you win, what do you think the rest of the international community going to think? Well, the answer we got was not suitable.
Yeah, let's not roller skate here. There's a conversation here. You know the rules here. So it seems to me here the issue of Musability, that apprehension has been hanging over him
for a very long time. For a very long time.
All of those people, they are all aware, correct?
Right. And that same sentiment was expressed once again when they had the Liberty Party convention in Lofa County. And the convention in Lofa County, Liberty Party were promised by Mayor of Vanyama to give Liberty Party the City Hall to have the convention in there. And when Dr. Bakai went back to Luffa County before anything else, when he came back to Monrovia, the night of the convention, when they went to Luffa County, they were denied the promise that has already been made. Liberty Party was told they're no longer going to use the hall, the city hall in Vanyama. There was a gentleman, a very good gentleman. I don't believe he's even a member of Liberty Party, but he felt so bad that the way Liberty Party were treated in Luffa County, it was unfair.
We said were treated by whom?
They promised a hall in Vanyama.
They meet the requirement. Don't
yes, everything was set. Yes,
okay, bro, I'm not in your mind.
Everything was arranged. The mayor, and those people, the people strategy team of Liberty Party and the mayor of Vanyama agreed. Second term, everything was agreed for.
Agreement or the whole?
Yes. Rating agreement. Yes. So the Liberty Party was supposed to go to the hall, and that night LPR carried that convention live on the radio station. By the way, so I was able to talk to Phyllis Hua, who was representing at the time as president or chairman of Liberty Party USA, who was representing us at the Vanyama convention. I was able to talk to him. I was supposed to have had a conversation with the counselor, but the visit of the current vice president derailed that possibility as well. Anyhow, the point that I'm trying to make in all of these things, the Musability issue is not just today. So even the Dallas Dillons, the Honorable Dallas Dillon, Honorable Yomdi Kangas Lauren, the political leader, they are quite aware of what many Liberty Party people feel about Musability, not because he's bad, but because of the character issue. Now, they decided, nobody forced them. They decided to have Musability to be fully involved. And when Musability got involved, Musability was flipping the bills of Liberty Party. Now, do you want Liberty Party to be the party of so unfair? Somebody who's paying your bill and you give that person get a position now because you're feeling getting enjoying all the man money, then you say we don't want you anymore. That kind of stuff will not fly with me either. I'm not in support of that. I'm not in support of it. So what is happening right now in Liberty Party is very shameful. It's very shameful, to be honest with you, because for these people now to come back and say, as though they didn't know Liberty, Senator Dillon the other day, well, I thought he was going to change, what have you. You didn't know who this man was. Okay.
Dillon himself has not changed. So why would he?
Exactly. This is the same man you thought he was going to change that, according to Musability, flip so much money for your campaign. What is it that you guys are unable to compromise that all of these byground deals are all coming up now, and you want people to have respect for your leadership. You want people to respect you as leader of the party and as leader of the community. You have all these things here. They're bringing it on themselves. Why are you picking a fight with Musability? For what reason? For what reason? I really don't understand it, and I'm embarrassed for Liberty. But here's one thing that I know for sure. Liberty Party USA is not part of that kabugu dancing.
Hold on. No, don't count. Don't.
Mr. So I can do whatever I want to do. I have the freedom. I am a free man and the free will thinker. So I will say once again, according to me, Liberty Party USA has nothing to do with the kabugu dancing that is going on in Liberia.
I wish I was a chairperson of the Election Commission. These political parties, they need to be disciplined in our country. And it is certain you have an election commission too that is just, they are yet another mess. They too have their own issue ongoing, because what is going on within these political parties, specific reference case to what is happening in Liberty Party, it does have a huge factor into the political process. To see a party to be like this, the election commissions is the chief referee, is the chief presiders of electoral process, and they are the governors for these political parties. And any political party that cannot conform itself with election guidelines, making sure that 150,000 should be even in your cover on the daily basis. I'm not sure whether they are checking there, and you have this sort of chaotic situation, because this is how this chaos is going to drag into the electoral process. Am I talking crazy thing here, something too?
Yeah, you're going overboard with
I'm
Liberty
going
Party.
overboard, yeah, because it doesn't suit your taste. I'm arguing for Liberia. You are more or less worried about your political party. Darius Dillon knew Nyobi Kanga Lawrence, when he said Musa ability. Nyobi Kanga knew Musa ability. They look at all of these factors, and this is the same thing we are talking. Because these political parties or these or donkeys, the people they take parties in as a donkeys to ride on their back, and that's exactly, they don't pay their dues, they don't do everything, and so one person takes the responsibility to show the whole institution. As the result, this person, he or she gets an absolute power. That's what's happening. You saw
Well,
it coming. You don't control a baby here. You don't know baby. When you ready to talk, chow, chow, chow here, it's time for you to talk. You saw it coming. You raise it. Now your own alligator is in your throat, and you want us to have sympathy for you.
Mr. So, rest assured, you and your audience, please know this. Liberty Party is a party of integrity. Liberty Party will survive this. This is not the end of Liberty Party. And this, whatever that is happening in Liberty Party, it's not going to creep its way into CPP, believe me. Now, the interesting thing here is this. Why is it that Musa ability
NEC is
is put?
weak. NEC is so weak in our country. I don't understand.
No,
They
but
allow these
what do
people
you
to
want?
get.
What do you want? You can't have NEC get involved in the political party's
Who
problem.
told you they don't get involved? NEC, the sole responsibility of NEC is to enforce the rules of their
But
game.
what are the rules? Liberty Party
You cannot
breaking.
have not specifically on a Liberty Party. I'm not even sure whether they are checking these parties on a daily basis, what they should have in the account. Part of that, they allow these parties to do whatever they want to do. Anytime daybreak go low, another party is born. Whether they meet the requirement of NEC, that's another different thing. You call them, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to say anything. This is how chaos come in the country. And mind you, when these people are not contained in the early stages of this whole thing, they will be the same people that will participate in the process tomorrow, and they will cause the same chaos they cause in the
I
country.
hope not. I hope not, Mr. So. I hope not, Mr. So. I hold in my hand here some real nifty stuff that CDC is doing, and I'm not going to
We're
publicize
not
that.
talking about that. We're not
Let me
talking.
put it down. I
No,
don't want you to see it.
let's
I don't
see
want
it.
you to see it. I don't want you to see it. So, but CDC, this government,
Mr. Toll, Mr. Toll,
yes, yes.
don't sound so disingenuous here. Well, and when it comes to the CDC, we can always talk it. We are talking about your party. What is happening with right under your feet? You try
Well,
to
I'm
ignore
just,
it now.
Mr. So. I'm done with Liberty Party issues.
How can
Liberty
you be
Party.
done? We haven't even gotten
Well,
any.
how is it affecting you? How is it affecting Liberians? Liberty
Seriously,
Party have issues. They will resolve their own
Liberty
issue.
Party is not part of the collaboration. The same
Yeah,
Nyobi
but how is
Kanga,
it affecting
the
already,
same Nyobi Kanga who
Mr.
is
So,
there and facilitated.
you're just looking to take my political leader into some sort of this dispute here. But there's no dispute with my political leader. She's done whatever. She has done a wonderful job when she was chairman of CPP. She had turned it over to
She
Dr.
did a
Baka.
wonderful job.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Mr. So, I'm entitled to my opinion. In fact, let me be ridiculous here. I'm entitled to my own alternative facts, if you don't mind.
I believe Senator Darius Dillon was on our sister network, Lpr-Tv here today. I listened to not the entirety of the entire program, but the little piece that I listened to, I was kind of a little bit disappointed too, because there was no some follow-up questions. The same soundbite that you are throwing out there, there was a sense that a lot of you guys in there sort of confident with this whole thing here. The same conspiracy, the collusions against Alexander Kume is not transferring to Musa ability, because the perception, the notion that is there, Musa ability to is pivoting towards Alexander Kume's. And these were some of the things that we saw when it all started. these political leaders, these major actors, stay away from making early decision choices as to who you're going to support, because when push comes to shove and shove comes to push, it will be difficult, because then you can be a player and a referee at the same time. But I want us to listen to this little soundbite here today with one-on-one with the CEO and other side analysts of the Spoon Network. I just managed to pick up this here this event. Let's listen to this here a little bit. I'm not sure whether that's a specific clip I want to, but let's listen.
There is the law in the house. Share it with somebody. Make them to understand there's a message out there for them. I'm going to sit back and listen to Ketema as he stirs the ship. Ketema is the captain of this ship. We got a couple of discussion coming forward.
Let me push it forward. Let me push it forward here a little bit.
No boring here. The content meet is almost like elective position. In order to be qualified for president, you must be resident.
That's not what I want to listen to.
What are the benefits?
So, very good question. Like I said earlier, the content meet is
no. Let's go, folks. You bear with me.
I think in Liberty Party started off, if maybe all of us are giving listening here and not jumping here and there with difference to hear the issues, maybe the problem will not have been here. Liberty Party came from Banga with a constitution and a mandate from the convention. The thing that's supposed to create the environment for us to implement decisions of the convention went chronically into chaos because that document was authored deliberately. And since we came from Banga, from February up to today, Liberty Party on former chairman Musa Benitez's administration never had.
Okay, the Liberal.
Yes.
Darren Zeron was very definitive today. Former chairman Musa Belete. Did you hear that?
Well, I think somebody wrote here about quote getting involved, and I think that most likely how this whole issue going to be solved.
You see what I'm coming from? The NEC needs to take control. Deleata Brown, who's supposed to know better, they need to take control because they are allowing these.
I'm not in support. I'm not in support of their calling for Musa Belete suspension or removal. I'm not in support. I'm not in support of that.
Liberal, hold on 1 second. That's not even calling. You heard him saying clearly, former chairman Musa Belete. So it seems to me, hearing this from Darius DeLont, that will also be echo. If you call Nyomli Kanga tonight and she's lucky to pick up your phone, I don't know whether you want to put that to test that you're a political leader, that would be the same soundbite. That
Mr. So,
Musa Belete is out of Liberty Party.
Mr. So, what is happening with the Liberty Party hierarchy is shameful, to be honest with you. Now, Liberty Party and Musa Belete, to be honest with you, from all documents that I have seen and from everything else, he's on a good standing. These people's suspension, according to him, was done based on the fact that they did not follow the constitution that holding Liberty Party together, that they have not paid their due. So in order to debunk that, in order for them to debunk Musa Belete's assertion, they have to come and produce evidence to the public. They have to come and produce evidence to members of the Liberty Party to say, look, this is what we have done. These are our receipts, and we pay our due. Paying due is not the same as giving money to the political party to do certain things. You pay due. The due are there specifically mandated by the Constitution. So by you taking extra money from your own pocket and building the building for Liberty Party, taking money from your own pocket and painting or buying people air ticket or whatever, what have you, that has nothing to do with the Constitution. You're doing it because you have a goodwill to the Liberty Party. Fine. However, you cannot And if my political leader and my senator are hoping that that would satisfy the people, then they are on the wrong footing. Because I know they've been spending money. I know they spend money with Liberty Party. I'm not naive about that. However, they must be up to speed, up to current in terms of your due payment. And this is what is not happening. And Musa Berete is saying, you don't pay your due. You haven't paid your due. Pay your due. So that is something, and the way Musa Berete went about it, I'm not in favor of that either. Because if these people have not paid their due, and you talk to them constantly, and they refuse to pay, you, Musa Berete, as chairman, should have an in-house meeting along with the political leader, and have a mini convention, if you may call that, and then bring that to the attention to Liberty Party officials and members of the party, that these people have been talking to them, they are not paying their due. They are not paying their due. But for you to then, because they are not paying their due, which constitutionally you have the right to suspend them. But when you do that, you put the entire party into disarray. When you do that, you put the entire party into ridicule, public ridicule. And this is not good for Liberty Party. Yeah. Those of us that have been around Liberty Party still love the party. But this is very shameful. That's my point.
Okay, I would say my Fofana celebrated birthday. Was that 2-3 days ago? Happy belated birthday. Yes, I listened to this. This is what my brother here, follower here, Smith, well, hopefully I'm calling your name. I listened to that today when Senator Dillon said that. Senator Dillon said today that due is not an interpretation of money, which is completely, I don't understand where he comes from. And I also hold the anger because they did not follow up, because that was ridiculous. It was absurd. This is where the failed system comes from. And then at the end of the day, everybody tries to walk back as if they are ignorance of the whole thing. They are not babies. They are not toddlers. These are all grown up men and women. When you are part of an institution, this is what I say here. That's why all of these political parties in Liberia cannot be sustained, and they are just turned there as mere social clubs that are contesting for leadership, because they too they want to enrich themselves. How do you think the institution going to survive if you can't pay your due? If you're not paying your freaking due, how do you think the institution going to survive? You left the institution with maybe the head, the political head, or the chairperson, and this and that, and you just think that all to it. That's how these people exert authority over this institution. Ordinary member, if I decide to be a member of a Liberty Party, I must pay my due, even if it is $5. They are making, and some of us know that I don't agree with the actions. I yet to see the Constitution, what it says. But when I take a universal concept of the viability of political institution, the chairman of the political party is the head of the secretariat. But again, Liberia is a different country by itself. When you wrote your own rules, you did your own rules, you're coming all here to tell us when Bronskin was going, he put something down, and he'll say, okay, party team, where you left with us here, we're going to continue until to 2030 something. That itself is a recipe to all of these chaos that we are talking about today. Do you agree with that, Liberal?
No.
Why?
Because when we, Liberty Party, got into this political arrangement.
What was the arrangement with what?
Well, let me finish, Mr.
Yeah, but don't just tell an arrangement. We were not there.
I'm in the process. I mean, when we're talking Liberty Party and thing, I have to be very careful what kinds of words comes out of my mouth. Because Liberty Party is very dear.
Because you want to be politically correct, right?
Not necessarily so. That's Mr. So if you don't mind, let me go ahead and finish my statement.
Go ahead.
As I was saying, Liberty Party, when we made the arrangement, or when they made the arrangement coming into this political arrangement with the Liberian people, the sincerity, the accountability, and the responsibility were the hallmark of Liberty Party. That has not changed. Now, in the process, are we having some X, Y, and Z? No, look, Mr. So, they're very serious people, serious-minded, that are members of Liberty Party. almost Philistine here in the United States. Liberty Party.
Why are you holding that Westerners when
hold on. Let
you
me
have
just,
nothing to do with what's going on in
I'm
Liberia.
just hold on, Mr. So. Hold on, Mr. So. Okay, the current president, Pay, very serious-minded person, highly educated. Liberty Party, if you go into Liberty Party and you see the members, the membership, and you see the members' names, you will say, wow, Liberty Party is a party to be in. So whatever that is happening right now, it's a season thing. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. The true strength of Liberty Party is yet to be reviewed, Mr. So.
Wow. So every time when things ugly happens within you, then you come up with this rhythm. It's a season. You're gonna go away. We're gonna go through this. Is there a new song that you're gonna be bringing here every time when it happens?
Mr.
You're fighting to correct the system. Okay. Oh, let me see. They say what Philistine. I seen somebody what Philistine was suspended even though he's still here. So that your chairman here too, you know about that?
Nobody suspended Philistine. Philistine is a good standing leader.
Said,
that person that's talking don't know anything about Liberty Party. Philistine has never been suspended.
Let me put a number on here. Let's engage our audience. I love this conversation. I love
it.
But
wait a minute. Why are you making this entire night Liberty Party night? What's going on with that?
What?
Why are you making this entire program a Liberty Party program? We have other important things to discuss.
Let me tell you, in the news cycle, the most high-ranking news is the news beat for the day.
What's about the suspension? What's about the sanction on Prince Johnson? Why are we not talking about that?
We're coming to it.
But let's drop Liberty Party issue. Let's drop Liberty Party and move on to the next thing.
I do agree Liberty Party is a major actor in my country political process. And I'm concerned.
No, you're not concerned. You are not concerned. You're part of the group that's trying to ridicule us.
Is that how you're going to term it?
Yeah, that's exactly how I see it. That's how I see it. Because Liberty Party has done.
Am I making things?
Mr. So, there have been so many political parties in Liberia where there's so many wranglings going on. Liberty Party is not going to be the first, not going to be the last.
Yeah, I didn't follow it here. Goro is saying he was on spoon. So who is suspending? Who is in charge of this party? Who is in charge of? This is what I said. The National Election Commission needs to step in ASAP. If these people if they can't behave like adults and want to be like a children, National Election Commission needs to because this why it's happening. They are part of a collaboration. Are you aware of that?
Mr. So, whatever that is happening in Liberty Party will not affect the final outcome of the election, nor will it affect the final outcome of the super performance of the CPP. So please, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. CPP is on a good footing. CPP is standing well. Dr. Bakai is the next president of the Republic of Liberia. I'm not too sure why you don't want to see this.
Darius, I need to talk about the country. Look, Darius, that thing, it was so shameful. It was so disgraceful. And I frown on that. We did talk about that before in the past. First of all, I was not in support of what that devil or whatever group of people did. It was ridiculous. It undermines the court system in itself. And I'm surprised that even supporters or lawyers or legal team to the Samuka thing, the way they are even handling this process, itself is a different thing by itself. But the liberal doesn't want to talk about it. I'm not going to put finger in his throat. Is something because what they are doing is undermining the process of even Samuka legitimate legal fight with the court system. You know, because even if he doesn't know what is happening or not, since it's an open mic, anything, some of the things our viewers will bring in, will try to keep in that will favor you liberal because you don't want to talk to your about your party, which is okay, you know. But I think what the Samuka defense team, if I were advising them, they need to take it out with the National Election Commissions and the Ministry of Justice, the State Department of Justice. They need to take it up with the. First of all, the NEC has no business to have certified a candidate potentially that was being indicted or criminally charged without going through the process. They allowed this person to go in the process. What are you talking about? NEC is the one that created this problem for Senator Ila Samuka. They are the ones because they should have. Okay, you're gonna have your point. They should have investigated. They should have concluded. They should have made sure this young man, if he's be it whether he's criminally charged or is vindicated, to allow him. How can you allow someone? Why did I don't understand why they did that? What is the justification? And I mean, Samuka, I would want to sue the NEC because they to pay all my damages because they knew very well if there was anything. They were not going to have control over the process. You qualify me, it means if I win, I must be able to take my seat. But for another group of people to pull hook on me that you knew very well, you didn't have a discussion to why they never liaised with the Ministry of Justice to make sure that the case against Samuka could be proven beyond reasonable doubt. And there you have had the authority to sanction him to say, you know what? Until you can participate in this process, you need to get a clearance because of X, Y, Z. They didn't do that. They allow him. They saw it. They allow him to participate in the process. If it was in America, they will sue him and they will sue NEC and they're going to pay a big money, big time. But then on the other side, he defends things to screw up to allow that sort of court process instead of them going through with the jury. They decided to go with the bench. I don't know what they think the judge is going to be in their favor. That's the whole thing. But what's your no about? Go ahead with your no.
Mr. So, the entire country is wrong about Samukai. The entire country, including the government of the Republic of Liberia. When Samukai got in the race, Samukai did not eat anybody fasting.
You had to talk loud and loud. We were talking about Liberty Party. He was stuttering. He was not talking. Liberty Party with a conversation going on. He not take a 5 energy plus. Go ahead.
Mr. So, look, this whole entire process here with Samukai, this thing here, the entire conversation goes straight onto the president's desk, President of the Republic of Liberia. To be honest with you, Mr. So, the government of the Republic of
Explain.
Yes, the government of the Republic of Liberia going after Samukai.
Let me put a number in the meantime. Go ahead, Mr. To.
Because Samukai did not go with being a CDC, being a sedition. That's one thing. Second, when Samukai...
You're not speaking facts.
Yes, I am speaking fact. I told you already. Alternative facts. So please don't say I'm not speaking fact. But here's the issue here, Mr. So. So when Samukai got involved, he won the election. Knight tried to do some kind of kabuki dancing. Samukai went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court mandated Knight to go ahead and announce whatever they have to announce. They did that. And the same Supreme Court now that is now doing the kabuki dance in a sense. So the Supreme Court, the judiciary, the executive, they're all wrong Samukai. They should give the Lofa people their chance, let them have their representative. Lofa people, Yamana made Lofa people verse. Lofa people, Yamana made them verse. These are the people that go around begging.
You are insinuating on this network, and that is unacceptable.
What am I insinuating?
Don't bring the chaos that Liberty Party is in.
No, but what am I insinuating? To say don't make them verse?
Yeah.
No, but why were you
putting less and all here?
Mr. So, that's your interpretation. You're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine. And what I'm saying here is, Lofa people first of all, they're very intelligent. There's no question asked. We all know that. The entire country knows that. Lofa people also are people that used to feed Liberia. They have the ability to do that again. Number two. Second thing is this. Lofa, they are people, peace-loving people. We all know that as well. Those of us that have been around, the people from Lofa Country for a very long time, from the time we were little, we know that. You are not here say, oh, Lofa man, somebody fighting is 3 years to do. That's something you will hear many times.
One second, Mr. Toh. Let me see somebody.
So let me finish my point. The point now is this. If the Lofa people have elected somebody.
Hold
on, Mr. Saw.
Yeah. Oh, hold on 1 second.
Folks, this is what I go through all the time.
Make the connection.
Mr. Saw.
Are you there?
See, here we go.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let Mr. Toh end his statement.
But why were you even entertain anybody taking call when the liberal is speaking? You shouldn't do that because the liberal is on the floor. So anyhow, let me wrap up.
It's not about you. It's about these beautiful people that are taking us.
I understand that, but these same beautiful people, they have respect for the rule and law. So when the liberal is speaking, you're gonna have to give me the opportunity to finish. Then you can bring in whoever. But let me wrap it up. So the point that I'm making here is this: Yamana made Lofa people vest. Yamana made them vest. I beg you, y'all get in many position. Yamana made Lofa people. You saw the devil then dancing on the bridge.
How long the devil stay there? Those devils, they should have been. If I was a police commander in Lofa, those devils were supposed to lock them up.
Are you a lock country devil up?
Well, who told you the country devil again?
They never disappear in the jail. You ever lock them out? The country devil, when you put country devil in the jail, he disappear.
Where were they when MPFL, IMPFL, you limo case?
That one a different thing. That different thing, Mr. Soda, different thing. Go ahead and bring your caller in.
Just having a last. Let me go to the caller. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Terry calling from Minnesota.
Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to the issue, but I think the devil then Akim Otta was not. They're not ready. They are not politicians, so I don't see how people, they are traditional groups. So I don't think they're supposed to involve with the politics that is played. Then it will become and demanding. And the country have laws. The country is governed by laws. So they have to allow the laws to play out because the law and the constitution is more than the tradition.
Right.
So I think it's all to understand that. So I don't really support people who are defending the country that will coming outside and threatening the lives of the Liberian people and threatening instability to the state. That is completely against the rule of law.
This is crazy.
But yeah. But what I also wanted to contribute to is the aspect of the Liberty Party scenario. I really think in my mind, for me, I do not really support, what is going on. But I think that the standard bearer of the party, according to the Constitution, took an action based upon the Constitution against the chairman. Because I think the chairman overcrossed his bound. Now, it is good for the chairman to maybe suspend the people, blah, 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 and all of that. But then, given the fact that the party were already in crisis, and he had been in crisis with these very same people that he's suspending. So it looked biased. It looked like he wanted to disgrace them. And you cannot disgrace your political leader.
Right.
So the political leader, knowing very well she had the power, that is why she enacted the power that she had. And which is not good for the party too, because the power, all that power given to the standard bearer is not correct. I don't think that is good for the party. And if that was what Bronsky had, then I see the reason why God did not allow the Liberty Party to win election in Liberia.
Oh, you coming? You're getting into the wrong terrain of the Liberal now.
from the way Darrell they don't spoke about how the standard bearer, with the kind of power the standard bearer had, that power there is too much.
He says it's a tradition. How can you mingle traditions with politics?
Yeah, it don't make sense. I don't understand it. I never saw that before in Liberia. I don't know why it should happen now. Is it because George Weah is not part of the society? That is why they're taking advantage of him, or why? I don't know. So it's kind of strange to me, Mr. So.
Well, Liberia SF they always make news.
Yeah, and one thing is that Dara Dillon, I don't think he really understand what he was saying in regards to the dues payment is not only, money.
Right.
All right. I think we all been in organizations before. Your dues have to do with a specific amount of money that you're supposed to contribute to the organization, maybe on a monthly basis or on a term basis. So your due is you can buy $100,000 property. That does not it's not equivalent to your dues. So I think in that era there, he's not understanding it. I don't know why he won't understand it, but I think he need to be corrected in that era.
All right, Terry, thank you so much. One of our regular time prime time followers with many others, but I always like to make his voice heard. Okay, the liberal.
Yes.
Yeah, other Messi, Messi, I'm gonna go if the government to like the devil. No, sure. The people that disrupt. What I'm concerned with, there was no for because when it happens that money, I talked to our guy who works with the local radio station, and children that were going to school, their classes were disruptive for no reason. Not necessarily marketeers and other business vendors, and I think teens were disrupted because of that. What we are saying, there is a process. Let me see this number. Okay, let's see here. Let's get the view of the people here this evening. Uh, hello, caller.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is David calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, welcome, buddy. What's up?
Yeah, good. I want to ask you a question, Mr. So.
Who, me or the liberal?
Yeah. You guys, I want to ask you a question. Do you guys grow up in the village?
What's that?
Do you grow up in the village?
I am 100% country sample sound countryman son.
Do you have policemen in your city?
If I have what?
Do you have police there the time you're growing up?
Yeah, there's a police. The police were in the administrative city.
Now, I'm talking about where you come from, where you grew up.
That's what I'm saying. They are police. My term is a border, so all the security apparatus, they are still present. They are still there.
Okay, look at the other people's town too. They have some villages in the but there's no police. There's not even the personal government. You see, what the people used to manage themselves with.
So, what's the basis of Mr. Day? What's the basis of this
I'm just
question?
trying to tell you in Liberia, there's not only law we get in the book, we get other law the people abide within the village.
Such as
punish you due to certain circumstances. The people go together and punish you when you steal or when you lost to somebody's wife, when you do the one, the people get their own traditional not to go back.
so
now there's law. So we're going to be preaching on the there's law in Liberia. There's law in Liberia. We know that, but there's also traditional law that we go back, that we live by. Because at certain area there, you don't even see the administrative processes there. You don't see court, you don't see nothing. Even the township don't have record to prove to anybody that from 1967 we have so and so kids. No, only the court system where they have people take record, all they want in there.
So, Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a conversation here. Make a connection here with me because I'm quite sure there's a borderline to your argument here. So connect me here a little bit because we're talking multiple things here, and your point came in, so there must be a line for which you are pushing this. So make a connection here to me. Let me see.
Look, my connection here is some people are saying we have rules and laws in Liberia.
So yes, what are you saying?
In Liberia, we have rules and laws, but we also have traditional rules and regulations too.
So what supersedes what? Traditional
the problem here is that when the borough constitution of the United States of America went to Liberia, they have people they met there that will have their own rules and regulations too as Liberians.
No,
so the borough constitution that we took from America, we applying it in Africa. Our own people, we met people with their own rules and regulations that were governing them there too.
Do you see, according to your word, do you accept this borough constitution? Do you obey it? Do you respect it?
Someone question it, but we gotta obey it. But someone is someone I consider.
My man, you want to be in two places now. You want to you want to honor it on the other side. You don't want to honor on the other side.
The problem here, boy, it be 1 year, 1 good year. And those judges are being paid by our taxpayer money. We pay them good some money to go somewhere over there. And they cannot even bring on a very on one case. The judges say a different thing. The other people say a different thing. So which of the law are we abiding by? When the Supreme Court already told the net to certificate the man, then the justice system can't all the the justice minister can't say you're not certificate the man. There were arguments between the Attorney General and the Justice Minister. He went all someone away and they wrote a second letter.
Okay. All right.
So all these things it create problem with each person.
All right.
It delay the process. 1 good year, a country without only 1 senator, which is wrong. It's also bounding on the other people who are right. The local kind of people right that are right to have 2 senators. The other people talk about it too. You only say because my candidate get 2 senators, okay, because your candidate get 2 senators. No, it's wrong. If the government will come out and say the seat is vacant, let them tell the people. When it's taking 1 year, so if you don't come out,
you see,
let me get me or whatsoever me, we just continue going until the time over.
It's a sad situation. All right, Mr. David, thank you so much. Let me pick up this other call. Anything you can still call back. Let me go to this number. Thank you for your participation always. 614 number here, 6747. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Alfonso, how you doing? I'm Joseph Tamai. I call you from Ohio.
Mr. Tamat, good evening and welcome. Look, so yeah, this whole thing here, I know there's a purpose of your call. We were on multiple conversation, but you are at liberty. It's something that you think that touch or is catching to you about your country that you want to voice out. You can also speak it since it's an open mic. So we've been talking a lot here. What is burning within there? Tell us.
I have 2 burning issues. The issue with the Bani Samoka and the issue with the Liberty Party.
Oh, Liberty Party. Yeah. That one, a Liberal. Okay, let's start with the Samoka issue. What is disgusting about it that you really don't like, and what you think probably can be done? Who went wrong and what?
You see, because the laws of Liberia, in certain point, is not the right direct. For this reason, we will have situations coming up. It is good that this point came out in this case so that tomorrow the governor of Liberia can work on constitution. Right now, trust me, I won't. But the court met or the House of Senate again on that case with Samokai. The court cannot tell the election commission that can nullify his election. There's no law to that, I'm sure.
Hold on.
The National Election Commission on its own cannot nullify his election because of the condition. The House of Senate cannot declare that position vacant to inform the election commission that this is a vacant seat here. We want you to organize an election to fill it. So that case, Samoka just have to pay that money and take a seat.
That's not a way.
I'm very sure there will be no decision that will cancel Samokai seat on either side.
So, do you agree with the decision? Because there's a second phase here. What is it? A label which is connected to criminal charges here. Before I go to the next person here, call it. Do you agree with the decision that he's because he's been labeled as criminal, that something was wrongfully done? Do you agree with that or not?
I do not agree, because at the time the election commission was conducting this election, the men used the innocent clause of the Constitution, the right of innocence until proven guilty, by taking appeal to the Supreme Court. He used that period to go to the election, and he won it.
Okay.
So as much as the lower court make a decision and he took appeal, he was still enjoying that part of the law that gave him the right. So it was still his right to contest. That is why the Justice Ministry did not tell NEC not to allow him to contest.
Okay. All right.
Because
Okay,
he
go.
was not a convicted person yet. He was not a convicted person yet. So the Justice Ministry could not.
So then what happens? Okay, so then what happened? He was not he was not convicted. So meaning there was a continuation of the case. Now, for what we know, the case is
enjoying his right.
Okay, he was enjoying his right. Now the case is being concluded. So this is where my own argument going on the contrary. The NEC and the Ministry of Justice, they should have done their due diligence. And the campaign of Samuka, they too, they should have done everything possibly they can to make sure that this case come to a conclusion before even participating. It's just like Alfonso is being called in here as a suspect of something, right? And they will call me. There will be preliminaries of investigations until I am fully vindicated. It can be 2-3 years down the road, and maybe it's proven that yes, I am a doer of this. So that does not negate the fact that because at the time 1 year ago, the investigation was ongoing and the defense team did not gather sufficient evidence to prove their case against me as a defender, right? It doesn't mean I'm not guilty. I'm saying Samuka is a victim of something here. And that's where these people, unfortunately, they did not address. But thank you so much. Make your last point quickly here for the Liberty Party. Let me go to the person and go to the Liberal. The Liberal is going through the Liberty Party constitution. You get some new stuff for us.
The Liberty Party issue, the Youngly and Darius Dillon, they are continuing to make mistakes, continuing to stir our confusion in their own political party. A political leader like Youngly Lawrence should have been, I'm sorry for the statement, very much responsible in decision making, and not just listening to gossip or listening to people who speak sweet voice.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Now, why she is under suspension, it is backed by their own constitution that you must pay the due. If you don't pay the due, there should be a penalty. You cannot be elected.
I really want to have access to that constitution. Maybe I will ask the Liberal. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me ask you. If you don't pay your due, there must be a penalty. Was there any specific things are you aware of anything specified in a constitution failure to pay due? What should be the consequences?
I think chapter 4 of the constitution.
I gotta get to the guys and get it tomorrow.
A specific penalty. But they can take an action against who benefiting from the party.
All right,
and don't want to pay due.
All right, thank you. Let me go to the
was not specific. So it's the option of the leadership of the party.
All right, thank you so much.
The executive committee to take that decision, to make the decision. And the executive committee is a committee that Darrell Dillon, Youngly, and others supported.
Okay, all right.
Into power.
All right, thank you so much.
Let me
go to the next decision. Okay, thank you so much.
And then they have no power. I come in please just 2 or 3 seconds. Youngly and Darrell Dillon, while under suspension, they lost the authority to make decision on the party.
All right, that's a
until their suspension is lifted. So the decision they take by nullifying is wrong also.
All right. So you see what I'm coming from, that the NEC should be able to take charge. I think NEC should be the chief custodians of the Liberty Party until they can grow as a well-seasoned political party, and we know who is the leader. You have chairman suspending the political leader, leader suspending the chairman.
In that case, NEC called them the day prior to her press conference.
Okay.
She refused to attend. Because NEC sent him to go and solve their internal clash and report to them. And then she told them to come and tell us if you have solved your problem. She did not attend. The next day she went and make decision.
You know, the thing Liberia is a plantation. Thank you, ma'am. Let me go to the next person here quickly to go to Liberia. 347 number 3746. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. So, this is Catherine Dava, and I'm calling from Texas.
Hey, Kazo, what's up, man?
I'm bad with you. It's been a while.
Yeah. I tell you, say
good evening to the Libra too in the studio there.
And the Libra is being tormented. The Libra is completely off balance right now.
The Libra party right now is party that fire in your country. I understand. And my body, but for now, they can be correct. I can feel it.
No, go ahead, my man.
Yeah, what I have on mind right now for me is that there are a lot, but for now, I want to discuss the bicentennial issue that is about to take place in Liberia.
Ooh.
So the security situation in Liberia, I mean, I'm not dragging people. You know, we as Liberians who live outside of Liberia, we don't want to go there. If it was like spending $50 or $75 to go to Liberia, I can tell you that Liberia will be full every year of Liberians outside of Liberia because we want to go home every day. But the security situation in Liberia, I'm just giving advice to my brothers and sisters who are planning to go out there. You know, the killing business that going on in Liberia go on like season. If you don't follow them, you are in a media area. It goes on like season. They kill people after 2-3 months, everything calms down like nothing is happening. When you look again, another killing spree go on. After that again, it's peace, like nothing is happening.
What do you think is responsible for that? Why people are not taking a holistic approach to demand answers to get something? Why do you think it's happening?
I think the government is being negligent. I don't know why they are being negligent. That's the question we keep asking. Because any good government, it seems like that is happening in the government. I think the government should try to see how best it can do to bring down the corporate. But you see, killing and nothing happening. Down from Central Bank, $15 she came out. The Central Bank guy was killed. The driver who was alleged by one of those trucks that took the 16 people was also killed in local while going on he was on assignment.
Okay.
After that, it seized down for a little bit. When we look at those 3 boys went missing, it seized for a little bit. When we look at other dogs were killed. So the killing spree in Liberia is like a season.
Okay. Thank you, my man. All right. Thank you so much.
So I'm just afraid that those who are planning to go to Liberia, I'm afraid that they're very careful. I'm not refusing, I'm not stopping them from going, but I can tell them that Liberia right now, for some people, it is not secure. Everything the government is doing right now is just pretend. Don't be surprised if tomorrow we wake up and you saw another killing spree going. Someone just died recently. Up to now, we're getting no investigation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
thank you. Okay, so quickly here, Victor Gray Bani is a familiar name in the political process in Liberia. Mr. Bani, are you there, Gray?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Phone, what's up?
Yeah, number. Look, so I don't know what's going on. Quickly here, in a nutshell here, what's your take before I go to my Liberal? The Liberal is trying to make a case. He talking, he chatting, sending messages to his people to make a point for them. But go ahead.
Okay, really, let me just make it quick because I know a lot of people on the line. Thank you for having me in. But I just want to tell you about this due payment. A due payment in Liberian politics, being a political party chairman and being in the configuration of political party in Liberia. And my party acting as co-chairman for the general political party in the country. Nobody pays due. So, every time politicians will just look at one aspect of certain thing, in as much as they want to, which one? They come and say, even the NUDP that I was chairman for, even the political leader of Prince Johnson doesn't pay due.
So why then? What makes it a political? What makes it? How does Mr. Bani? How the institution survive?
Yes, this is the institution issue. That's what happens in most political parties.
what they do is that people voluntarily sponsor political parties. That one party become older than main party, and another person party, and another person party. In a sense. But the Liberty Party are known. They don't pay due like that. Now, a due payment issue in political party or Mr. Soul, when there is those kind of issue arises as a competent chairman, you gotta call a meeting indoor
right.
for you to discuss it. You cannot expose political party in a kind of or way that Musa ability did, meaning that you have something hiding under his sleeves. Even the ANC, the party chairman back in the days was Alasha Gu. He didn't pay a due. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hang on Alexander Comey and he take care of the party.
But that has been the traditions, all the political parties.
Okay,
CDC George, we are ANC.
The PUP, the Alex Teller, which entered to Nukwe party, the PUP, none of them paid due. And Nukwe, because he was chairman on or Westminster Finance at the legislature, he was paying the due.
So let me it's interesting. You need to find time so you will come on video here. I've been trying to get you here. Maybe I need to file some sort of petition forcibly to bring you. So, but before I go, Mr. Bani, let me ask you, when you were also chairing these, what's the name, PDP, your political leader wasn't paying due, correct?
No, he was not paying no due. As a matter of fact, I literally sponsor the NUDP. I pay for convention, I pay the secretariat to do their work, and I do all those things then. There's nobody paid you for counties, nobody paid you for anywhere.
You ever ask that question? Do you ever raise that question? Why did not?
Well, we discuss those things, but you see the way politics works. You know, when I listen to people how they analyze due payment in America. Like in America, yeah, if I'm a Republican, I don't pay due. The time to vote, I would vote. Same thing like in Liberia. Only few people who feel that the party meant something to them. They try their best to pay due. And if you ask even Musa Ability, he will not show you a due card. See, these are all lies. Even Hamilton Conway, he will not show you a due card. Wow. See, so what the backdrop of Yombly Kanga then, what they consider as due, and that is what all the parties consider as due. Even the George Wellman, the CDC in 2005, they were not paying due, but they were sponsoring those parties. They would bring their own money, they put it into the party. The other parties used to run. But when you say due, that means everybody have their due card. Now, even in America, all our organization here, nobody paid due. The only thing you pay due when you go for convention, then you will be forced to pay.
That shouldn't be a convention. Convention fee should be set aside. It's a different thing. It's a different occasion. Whether you go to convention, you don't go to convention. Technically, to keep the organization alive, people should have a membership card. That is something that obliges you to be part of that institution.
So if any one of these guys then show you their due payment card, well, then you just look at it that I'm lying.
Okay,
but
thank you so much.
Have it. But then the thing is that party due payment issue is not for radio. It's for having an executive committee meeting where you was.
But then give me a break. Or not even with this one yet. Politicians, our politician laws being before the camera, because this is where they like to empty all of the day. And the voters or the electors or the citizenry, they also enjoy having this sort of dramatic conversation when we should be holding these politicians of their policy, what they can do, how they can impact lives, how they can change lives. They are not interested in those conversations.
Look, let me give you an example. We went for the convention in Secretary, the convention that elected Prince Johnson to be the Senate bearer. He did not pay 1 cent to that convention.
Oh, let's leave it there. Let me go to the Liberal here. The Liberal ready to talk. Or if you want to hold on, just hang on. Let me go to the Liberal. Let me go. So, look, Liberal.
Yes.
I am sick in the stomach with these political institutions. Mr. Bani is a major political force in Liberia. In fact, he contested in one of his elections. From what we are hearing, I wonder why. This is why these political institutions, they are in chaos. Because, and like I said at onset, I just do not agree with Musability, even though I yet to have all of the detail, but from the philosophical approach, his position, technically, the standard barrier of any political party is, but again, when we look at it, then you're not even getting standard barrier too, because you're talk all the Liberty Party people, you're talking say you want to boycott, so you don't even have standard barrier. Even though you say she's your political leader, so I don't know how we can even adequately address that. That's a different conversation by itself. But I'm saying I just do not, with the what I'm hearing, what I know, Belete as a political as a chairman of the party, technically he's the head of the secretariat. The owner of the political party is the standard bearer. But when we carry it again and bring it, you're not getting standard bearer. You're not taking part in any election. You took all your vote and put it in one basket behind the old man, and everybody felt comfortable with it. So this is the situation we have. I feel bad. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. So, thank you very much. Earlier I stated this, and I think most of the callers have already been echoing that, and that is paying due is not the same as being a good cemetery in your how do you call it, political party, doing good here, buying this and buying that. That has nothing to do with paying due. Mr. So, look, I think the caller correctly stated here, and you also know that for a fact because you're once a leader in a community. Most people don't pay due. They pay due as according to what the Germans say, and when they go to convention, which is true. But let's take this to another level. The political party, even here, the Liberty Party USA, you are asked for contribution. They don't have due to say you're going to pay due. Any organization, any Liberian organization that you know of, and they tax people for due paying, they can make it $5.
So
nobody will pay.
So let me ask you, membership, Liberty Party USA, do you guys carry the membership card?
Yes. I send you my stuff.
That it doesn't have nobody's signature here, so I don't.
Don't worry about it.
You want me to display it? No signature, nothing. And you say,
why will you display my membership card to the public? I am a member of Liberty Party, but that's besides.
On a serious note, do you guys the membership card is what sort of card? Do you pay for it? And if you pay for it, what is the stipulation?
Well, the deal you register, you're supposed to pay. You're supposed to pay due. There's any.
No, hold on. Can't have it two ways here. You're supposed to, or you should pay due. Which
you're
one?
supposed to and should pay, but meaning that's my point that I'm making. It is difficult to enforce that.
But then you forfeit your membership because
you don't. Mr. So, listen to me.
You're not paying your due. You're not making bank deposit. How can you go to the account?
You see, this is why when you come up with a conservative idea, then I jump all over it. Because you're acting as though you have no clue on this. You were once the president of one of the strongest section organizations here in the United States. How many times did we pay due to your organization? I
have people here. There are other people who are defiant who don't pay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't negate the fact that you cannot enforce.
I understand your logic. I understand your degree. The fact that you have a degree
No. You are telling me to go to the bank in as much as I do not have.
Mr. So, I really don't understand this due paying business here tonight. You know fairly well that many Liberian organizations, including political parties.
Okay, why political parties? How do they expect the party to survive? I mean, there must be a
political party. Most of the time, have been carried on by individual.
Wow.
Simple as that. When Liberty Party were carried mostly by Councillor Bronsky. Okay. After that, Liberty Party will carry, and I will say this. Anybody can quote me and question me. Florentine Kofa.
Okay.
Thousands and thousands of dollars he used to pay.
After Kofa left, who else?
Florentine Kofa.
After Kofa left, who were carrying the Liberty?
Well, after Kofa left, then we have now Musability. Musability
started. Musability, you dragging your voice as if you were not carrying it. So
Mr.
you
So,
guys,
why you want to characterize how when that's how I speak. I said Musa Berete, he carrying the load now. But when Kofa was there, Kofa was carrying the load. When Constable Bronsky was there, Constable Bronsky was carrying the load. So now Musa Berete is in there. He's carrying the load. We all know that.
so how the men are carrying the load? Why you want to kick? How you can kick him out? The man
And that's why I made my point earlier. I don't support it, and it's not going to work.
What's about Steve Zacko? Was Steve Zacko carrying the load too as chairman?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how that worked. But I know Kofa, and I know many of Kofa dealings, and that's why I'm bringing that up. But to be honest with you, if they think they're going to push Musa Belete out of Liberty Party, they better be ready for a fight. Because Musa Belete is not going to lay down.
They don't confirm that, already calling him former chairman, and I'm quite sure Nyomli Kanga, who is a handbag total of
Senator Dillon, this is what I keep saying to Senator Dillon and many people. Senator Dillon is a light. However, it's a light.
Light for what? Light of what?
A light of democracy. Let me, Mr. So you act like you don't know who Senator Dillon is. But here's the point that I want to make on this. Here's the point that I want to make about. Here's the point that I want. Mr. So let me make this point. Let me make this point about Senator Dillon, from my own perspective. Senator Dillon came to this position as clean as whistle in terms of political activities, in terms of corruption, everything else.
Is he clean today?
Yes.
He clean today?
Yes. However, Senator Dillon, his own action, are now calling to question of his cleanness.
So then why are you telling me that he clean?
I still believe he does. I still believe he does. Now, here's what I'm going to say to Senator Dillon. You have to be very careful. You have to be, even though you were elected, you're going to be the 9 years, but you're still young. You don't want these things to hang over you. The Musa Berete issue here, you better iron it out. You better iron it out, because this thing is seriously, it's bound. If they're not careful, it's going to hurt their political career. It's going to hurt their political career. So, because if you're unable to maintain Liberty Party as a strong political party, it's going to hurt you eventually, because people will challenge you. And Senator Dillon is young; he's not old. He expects to seek re-election because he's doing things, and people start questioning your ability to make sound judgment in terms of this airplane picture, picture stuff.
I mean, coming out with that one, you dicking.
No, I understand that. I said because of those kinds of things, you do that, people start questioning your characters and your judgment making process, and those are not a good thing for the country. In the meantime, while we're here talking about Liberty Party and everything else, Mr. So, the president of the Republic of Liberia looking more and more present for us.
Wow. Yeah, this night is another bad night for you. Let me go to the line here quickly. We'll soon be wrapping up here.
Yeah, please, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up, please.
Oh, you calling for a timer? Okay, Mr. Bani, let me come back to you. Mr. Bani, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You listen to this liberal here. Let me bring you in, and then bring our man Kemo in here. I don't understand what is going on in our country. It's
Mr. So, those are the kind of things that we went through in our country, and we decide to just make a sacrifice. The thing about politics in Liberia is making sacrifice.
What you went through? What did you learn? What was the thing that you people put in? You see, this is why you politicians, you're so clever doing that. When you're part of the system is perfect, the system is correct. But when you're out, then that's where you begin to see the flaws of the system.
Yes, so because the people don't care. The only thing that people want is battle cry, and that when you come, you must make things available for their self-advertisement. And now, let me get you something. The issue that in fact, one of my policy when I was chairman for the NUDP is we try to institutionalize democracy. That party no more belong to a particular person. It should belong into everybody. That is our motto. Then decentralizing governance is one of our things. That's what we were basing our campaign on. So
and that didn't hold. And it didn't hold.
What it means that every institution should work. You understand? The county should work. The county coordinator should work. The executive should work. And we created almost 13 secretaries that were responsible for different functions, so that they will engage our public. You got parties that got almost about 7 to 8,001 million people. They said they can't pay due. That only 1 month will be paying it. You know, that institution not work. It will not
I
work.
wash my hand in party business. All right, Mr. But I will call you right after the program. We need to have a chat so we can have more extensive conversations. Too much going on now. We can't let these things slip by all here, because if we don't talk about it, history will also hold us responsible. Our job is to talk about it, and people should.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. No problem.
Okay. That's Victor Gray Banint, one-time major political actor. So come on, let's go to the cowboy state. Come on, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
Okay, the Liberal is calling for time out. That is very unusual. The Liberal is calling for the complete cut-off of this program here tonight, even though we still have management, the time management allotted is here, but he seems to be having a bad night. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I was second to that. The Liberal having a bad night. I just joined in and the last segment for it seems to be like you find it difficult to get it.
Oh my goodness.
So I was second to that.
Okay, now my papa, I gotta let him go to there. You gotta go to work tomorrow before. We told them your leader today, they want to leave it, they still want to be inside. Yeah, man.
But on a serious note, I like the question you posted to the previous caller that was on the line. When they are in a system, everything is perfect. I mean, everything goes smooth.
That politician, that's it.
Yeah, well, in a way that there is nothing that people can criticize about the system. But when they get out, that's when they start to see how everything is wrong. So I really like how you push a question to him. And then there was another thing you're talking about.
You know, people, nobody don't just come and just we call her. You can't just easily, if you walk away, then maybe something just got me distracted. You can't just come here and make something a statement or comment. You think you're gonna go? No.
And that's why we continue to follow this particular network, because the network is balanced, you know, in terms of every aspect of the discourse. So and then another thing you're talking about institutionalizing, political party and stuff like that. I mean, we hear this story over and over, and then after another election, that party died and go, they no longer existing. So I like how you posted the question there. Thank you for that. On the issue of Musa Belete, before Musa Belete went to the particular position, everybody knew Musa Belete track record. This guy, quote-unquote, was indicted by FIFA from
the Liberal defended this guy here. I'm going to bring that video up in our subsequent broadcast. He defended this guy to his core belly. Now he tried to reject him. He wants to walk away. He tried to distance himself from him.
No.
Seriously?
He can't do that. He can't do anything in that to distance. He said they all found a they saw the guy who have a long track record of criminal activity, both in the international community and in the local area.
The guy used financial violence and penetrated the system. Now they want to walk away.
And this guy, Mr. Musa Belete, the Liberty Party said, this is the guy we want to be our chairman. Can you imagine that? Somebody with criminal record. So, it's just laughable to see how Liberian politicians or political party people who have the kind of thinking record. You want to tell me there was no other president?
I will try to reach out to him to have him here. Hopefully he answer my call.
I mean, it's a shame on the Liberty Party people with all the things they're going through. Shame on Darren Dillon, shame on Yondi Kanga, shame on everyone of them. You know, they don't have no space right now to talk anything that will make anybody to believe them, because they got somebody who is thinking, and the man is really using the party. controlling the party. So I see a no rope.
Yeah,
And
you know,
the
I don't
whole
agree with
matter,
him as a chairman to suspend political leaders. So, that again, if you look at it, that's their own arrangement. So he who rides the back of the alligator eventually goes into the belly of the alligator. So that's how it looks like.
my other question I got here for the Liberal Progressive is this,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Cole. I know you are seated pretty well, even though you are calling for time. But I just want for you to answer this question for me. Looking at the situation in the party now, you think Liberty Party is credible enough to speak out against issues, especially when it comes to the opposite article with the ruling party, the CDC? You think they have that kind of credibility to really talk to CDC when it comes to organization, leadership, and stuff like that? You think they really have that? That's the only question I have for them.
Okay.
Article for the Liberal Progressive right now.
Okay.
But thank you anyway for having me on the line tonight. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And lastly, I've not seen the professor. You know, where is he?
The professor got a new assignment, but I'm trying to have a comfort. The care we eat, baby, don't even talk about it. We also extended, he's our contributor here, but we extended an invitation tentatively, I believe Thursday. We're going to confirm that the professor going to be in the slaughterhouse here. Let's see how what has been the conversation and how you're going to change the system within the Moravia Consolidated School System, which I am a beneficiary of that school system as well. So the professor has accepted our invitation to a PA. So we'll keep the public posted. And I think that's going to be a fascinating conversation.
Okay, and before I go, sir, the last time we had Mr. Koji, the city mayor, on the particular network, he promised us that you're going to make way that other people in government would appear on the network so that we can ask them questions so we can be abreast of what happened in our country. But since I don't know what happened,
my brother,
what's going on, because we have a lot of issues on our state, especially when it comes to gender issues. And the budget, and maybe bro, with the author, we need to hear from him. So I beg, let the professor please use it. And influencing the CDC to bring some of the guys here on the network.
I have sent countless messages to the mayor to extending an invitation. They're yet to answer. These people, they have places that they can go, because when they say something, you have an anger, you have a presenter there who will say amen to them. So, but here, we do not just say we don't say amen. We ask how and why. Thank you so much, my man.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let me bring this guy here, and I will be wrapping up to go to the Lpr-Tv 3937 number to 5591. Are you there? Oh,
yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead quickly. You are the last caller for the night. What's your point?
Thank you for bringing me on. How are you doing, Mr. Tool?
Good. No, and I told that the inflicted toll with Liberty Party that I hear there's a soul here.
I apologize.
I'm just joking, man. Go ahead. I'm a big brother. I don't mind. But the man.
My name is Isaac Johnson, started from Deja, Ohio.
Okay.
If you remember me, I always scored on the show.
Right.
So let me go straight to the point. I got two issues on mine.
Mm-hmm.
The first one has to do with Barney Samuka case, and the next one has to do with the Liberty Party.
Oh.
So let me address the Barney Samuka issue first.
Yeah, let's make it quick as possible. Yeah.
We as Liberian, we always want to do one thing over and over. Then we complain on the system. Then we say the system is not working, the system is corrupt, and we need to change system. So Barney Samuka was indicted. His case was in a court.
Mm-hmm.
Like he stole the AFL money.
Mm-hmm.
But he said because all ruling have been come out to find him guilty, so he's not guilty until proven guilty in a court of law.
Mm-hmm.
On that one, it was okay for him, but he was playing on that game. He knew very well that he was putting himself in the serious predicament. And in the rules of law, there's no sin go unpunished.
Right.
Let's speak the fact. Barney Samuka was indicted and found guilty after he won the senatorial seat. In the rules of law, there is no convict. There is no convict or people that have felony can serve in the House of Senate or Representatives. that of which the law should be as it is, strict as it is. So why should we Liberians selling our loyalty, selling our country every day for things that will not be presentable and enjoyable for our children tomorrow? Is that how we want our children to come out in society tomorrow and we all pray for better Liberia? It won't work. We have to start from somewhere.
Okay.
And if we started from somewhere, we have to make sure we stand. Somebody has to stand on ground to say, yes, this is my ground, this is the rule of law. We will abide by the rules of law no matter what the condition is. This is it. We have
All right,
to
let's go ahead quickly here to the Liberty Party. We are running out of time.
When it comes to Liberty Party, Mr. So, that be realistic. Liberty Party is not going nowhere. They are already being destroyed. There is no credibility. There is nothing again Liberty Party can say that we as Liberians will listen to them and we tell our people to entrust our country into their hands. Can you imagine the life, which is the former life, that criticize government of taking money apart from the salary? And he was on Spoon TV today telling the Liberian people that the 30,000 is legitimate. He's not going to refuse the 30,000 because he have to engage his people. He have to rent set. Is that a kind of?
He have to rent. You gotta do what?
He have to rent set to engage his people.
Set.
He have to pay for. Yeah, he have to rent set if he's going to engage the people or like a community meeting, town hall meeting. He have to pay for the set. He have to pay for the buildings and things. That's why Mr. Watterson said no. It's not how you. It's not why you support. You're elected for the public office. He asked you and said he's going to take it. It's illegitimate. So what becomes of his credibility?
All right. Thank you so much. Let me go to the Liberal here because I'm boiling with aim. And he can text Nyombly. He can text when he said Fanatic Kofa, who was formerly with Liberty Party but with CDC now. Maybe he texting Steve Zacko or Darius Dillon. Thank you so much. The Liberal.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody came to a conclusion tonight. You are having a very bad night, and that's why you are abruptly calling for the cutoff of this show.
No, not really. I'm just saying we usually off at this time anyway.
Yeah, talking like a young baby. Now we usually off at the time. Okay. So I don't know. Go ahead. I know you listen to most of the callers here, and
yeah, the issue here tonight is I really don't understand you making Liberty Party.
Me?
Yeah. Why would LPR make Liberty Party the talking for the show or to be the show here tonight?
Well, CDC does it wrong. We talk about it. We talk about CDC.
I hear you talk about CDC for a long time. So every day now that either you talk about Dr. Baka or you talk about Liberty Party. So we don't know where you stand. Are you a member of Liberty Party? By the way, huh?
No, I intend not to.
Okay, so if you're not a member of Liberty Party, then where is it there for you that much? Eh? Let Liberty Party people handle their thing. That's not your business. Stay out of it. You know. But let me just say something here with then I can take leave for you. Let me just say something here with our brother Nakamu, what he said here. Yeah, Liberty Party and leadership, they're still respected. In fact, Donald Dillon is still considered a light. The issue now is that these are in-house issues. Let's understand. They are whatever. Let's just so please. The liberal talking. So the thing here is this: nothing that is happening with Liberty Party that is affecting the salary of Liberians, that is affecting the livelihood of Liberians, that is affecting the security of the country. So why will we now take Liberty Party issue and say the leadership themselves, or will they be trusted anymore when they question the activity of the sitting government. Of course, they will be trusted. Of course, they still have the ability to speak for the people of the Republic of Liberia. The fact that they're having some little, just a tiny little issue within Liberty Party, it's going to be resolved. Are you with me?
I'm not with you because I feel bad for you. You are heading in the wrong. You are in the wrong direction. You're not even heading in the wrong direction. You are there. And you are sophisticated to see yourself to drown into a system that is filled, and you just do not have the guts to come out here and you're talking about little tiny, try to give it some sort of nomenclature that is not even holding a dip of water. But I understand we're going to bring the curtain down here. We'll try to reach out to Ability. And let me just make it clear again. Without knowing the in-depth of it, but what I do know universally, the standard barrier of the party is the owner of the political institution. So it was a little bit troubling. But again, you alluded here, these people financially takes control, got in charge of this political institution. And that's why it's been happening. You look at the history of NDPL, you look at NPP when Taylor was there, even with the CDC, the ANC now. So when you ask these people who is the alternative in the absence of George Weah, in the absence of Benedict Kumi, your man Boyka, you can't pinpoint anybody. They will say they're not Tanye. They will tell us he's the man that we have. So he is the designated person. What happened when he or she falls today, then you start scrambling and looking all around to find a leader. And all because these people, perhaps they're the one that have the resources. They invest in time, money, and energy. So you take this party, you take the institutions and crown this individual as the sole owner. That's how when these people becomes leader, they too eating that saying they put it into the party to survive. Then they bring in people who want to absorb resources from the system to replenish whatever they are invested in.
One of the things I noticed, I believe, Musa Ability, and I'm just speculating here, in as much as he has been involved, financially involved with Liberty Party, single-handedly carrying on Liberty Party on his shoulder, to be honest with you. I think Musa Ability would have done much more damage to Liberty Party if he wanted to, because all he had to do was to recruit more members into the leadership of Liberty Party who will be in line with his view, and they will have the majority of the vote. And then they will kick out people they want to kick out. That's how people take over party. But apparently that most likely didn't happen. I'm not too sure how many of the executive committee that he has on his side, because he said that they're going to go to a convention in Nima County and people are going to be there. I'm not too sure how many executive members of the executive committee members that he's going to carry with him. But overall, Mr. So, before I take leave of you, all I want to say about this Liberty Party here, that these kinds of stuff, they are not healthy. They are not healthy for the young people of the Republic of Liberia. Because Liberty Party is one of those parties that many people gravitate towards. They are not healthy whatsoever. But this, again, is to show that anything you do in our country, if you refuse as the people living in our country, if people refuse to build institutions and they continue to build individuals, this is what we have. Liberty Party, when it started, the intent was to build institutions. And eventually, they boiled down to building individual. Consular Bronskin. Consular Bronskin, because it was an individual building process. Consular Bronskin then decide, when he passed.
You start living with this syndrome, with this Bronskin building. Bronskin alone was single-handedly. This is why he kept being a standard bearer. And he can't.
Of course, that's the point that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making. But when they come on their side, when we have these kinds of serious leadership meeting, retreat, and things like that, those kinds of individual stuff don't come to play, because Consular Bronsky, on many occasions, right before me, he has always said that I am here to build institutions. But when they get to Liberia, their action is quite different.
You believe him?
Yes, because he's the man of character. He was the man of character.
Did he build the? Did he build
No,
the?
he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Why you believe
Well, because at the time when he was saying it, but whenever
so knowing what you know now, do you think he was more destruction to the party than what you thought it was at the time?
well, I won't say that because he used his
Why can't you say that? Why can't
I won't say that he destroyed the party because he earned his hard he spent his hard earned money.
No, that's not what
the political party.
No, because he was doing it for himself because he wanted to get to presidency.
Right, and so you can't take that away from him because he spent the money.
No, I'm not taking anything away. He was doing. This is a kind of proper. This is a kind of what proper court system. He was doing something because he targeted something to get in return. That did not happen, and you come and you hear they telling us that he built a system.
Well, I agree, but in the process, there was a system that he tried to build that we thought he was building.
You thought,
yes.
When you got to know that he wasn't building a system.
This going election.
Because
when he left, listen now, Mr. So when he left, and then it came back, and then wrestled the leadership from whoever was in charge.
And you accepted him.
Well, at that time, I was not much involved in the Liberty Party. Let me say this. Liberty Party USA is not part of Liberty Party Liberia Kabuku dancing. Let's put it that way.
So, before you go, who is the chairman and who is the standard bearer of Liberty Party as we speak?
From my perspective, Musa Ability is the chairman. From my perspective, I'm political leader, Honorable Senator Nyomli Lawrence is the standard bearer and a political leader of Liberty Party.
So then where do you reconcile? Yeah, how are you saying Liberty Party USA does not have anything? But Liberty Party USA, there is a connections. There is some sort of bounding here. And
there is connection. There is connection.
So do me a favor. Who is the current chairperson? Because I want to hold the leaders accountable.
Pay
who?
I'll send you his information.
Okay.
President Pay.
Who? He president? President what?
No, he's the chairman. He's the chairman. Liberty Party USA chairman.
Okay, but you agree that there's a connection with Liberty Party USA and Liberty Party Liberia, correct?
They just had their convention recently.
I'm asking, there is a connection, correct?
Yes.
You guys send financial resources to
yes, that we do.
That
at least we used to, or I used to be part of that.
And you're telling us that you don't have to do with the Kabuku.
Well, that's the problem we always have with them, Mr. So. Whenever we send thousands and thousands of dollars, but when the time comes for decision making at a higher level, they don't want us to participate.
And you keep investing into this fancy net. You're still giving things, and you come out here.
That's okay. That's okay. Eventually, we will get out of it. We will all succeed.
You will also see. I wish you luck. The Liberal Progressive on this network, something to block.
This has been a wonderful night, and thank you. I'm glad that it's over, Mr. So, because this is one of those nights that I'm not too sure what your position is here tonight. But folks, those of you that are listening, the Liberal is completely overwhelmed tonight. Let's put it that way. Usually, like I said, my hair ain't feeling more, but tonight, my hair ain't feeling more, but tonight. They want to part that when something happens to your political party and the people are in turmoil, it hurts to all of us. It's very hurtful because Liberty Party is an intellectual party, and to see these people behaving the way they're behaving is very hurtful. And so I'm lost for words tonight. The Liberal is here. I'm still here. Tomorrow or day after when I come back, tomorrow we will be back here again. And watch and see if Mr. So, because his partner is back, and if they think they got me under control because of the Liberty Party issue, I'm glad we got the Liberty Party business settled. I hope these people get their
How do you get settled? What is settled?
You're not bringing Liberty Party business tomorrow when we come here. It's over now. You're not going to bring it back again. So, but anyway,
we try to reach our ability to give all of them the fair share. But the Liberals, I want to thank you so much as usual.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, our viewers, those that air their views, don't hesitate. Your comments, your tweets, are very rewarding. We go back and I review these things and how helpful they are, not just only to us, but to the country. And this is what extensively we all need to be doing. So we shouldn't be selective when it comes to conversation. Even if you support your own political party, you have to get the courage to speak out, because these people's decisions are dangerous for the country. And we need to call them out as it is. There's nothing to there's no other way that we can treat around it. And I maintain, I hope NEC, it's time for NEC to stand up to these political institutions. For so long, they are giving them an easy pass. So they do everything they want to do, is within our own party, is within their own system. No, it is not within their system. Whatever they are doing, it does have a link and propensity to also derail the democratic process in the country. You can't have a political institution, people who want state leaders, state power, and the party is so fragmented like that. And we say we're going to allow these people to participate in the process. What are they bringing to the table? Zero. However, and I'm hoping that maybe Mr. Ability will give us the opportunity to dialogue, to have a conversation with him. But I vehemently disagree with his position, because the chairperson of a political party, the basic concept of a party, the owner of the party is the standard bearer, go up, come down. But again, Liberia, it is why it is. And maybe they did their own groundwork, they did their own rules, whatever it is, thinking that you're going to suit them in the long run. But he who rides the back of the alligators eventually enters the back of the alligator. Darius Dillon was a good beneficiary of Hassan Belete. Belete, in his own words, gave $20,000. This is the guy who yesterday was calling people spineless, and his people did not even call him out. That in politics is all about consensus building. So it doesn't matter whether you are elected now and you have 9 years to go, you need to build a consensus, because there is something called legacy. That's what you want to leave if you are going out as a representative or senator or any position that you occupy. But unfortunately, our politicians are blindfolded with what they call this legacy. This is why all of them, they are engaged in political projects. And they think they are projects. And their supporters celebrate them. They pump money into them. And you have institutions that's supposed to be built that should be supported by international organizations. It doesn't matter our positions, perceptions about government, but this is how institutions are sustained. Out of the 103 lawmakers, if you do a countdown, literally all of them having what they call, they're doing rehabilitation now. And they have no idea what they are jumping into, because this sort of narrative plays into the hands of their supporter. And so these supporters give them few hands up, and they just think that it is what it is. Well, these lawmakers should be calling on the head of these institutions and agencies of government, call them to order in section to answer questions, or why XYZ is not placed in the budget to enhance the functionaries of that institution. They themselves, they turn around and they are putting nickels or dime into these institutions. As a result, these standing institutions or functionaries of government goes away. The National Rehabilitation Commission. What should be the purpose? By this time, government should be able to pump money, and they should go out there, because it's not just about taking somebody from the street and go sleep, and they go to bed, you give them food. No, that's just minute intervention you are making. You need a psychologist, you need a clinicians, you need people, you need a lot of people, counselings and all of that. And the only people that can easily sustain that is national government through the help of other international organizations outside of Liberia. They don't still get it. These people, they don't give politician fundings. They don't know. So you come here, you form this sort of bookers group here, and they give you $1 or $2, and you just think you have an institution that's going to build a society. It doesn't work like that. What happens when you are outside of capital building tomorrow? Can you sustain those institutions? Absolutely no. So the need to call these institutions relevant institutions. The budget now that the recast budget is on. And I want to be having our own Professor Zawlo here, who is going to oversee the Moravia Consolidated School System. How can he manage it? I was going through a peruse through here. I saw like an internet, so a little 2,000, this and that for for schools over more than 12 school system. You kidding me? You know how much individuals spend even on a monthly basis to do their work. And even some of us that have children, some of you, you know how many dollars you spend on a day to put data on your daughter or your son phone to do an assignment. And you're talking about school in the population of maybe millions students to give them to a lot, $2,000. How that sort of magical operation going to take place? So the failed system that we are having in national government gives birth to these political institutions, people who wants to take state power, and we don't focus on them, we don't checkmate them, we don't critique them, we don't call them to vote. We allow them to go away because they are our favorites, they are people that we support because they are also in desperation. So what can give us the reason that these people tomorrow, if they get on the 8th floor of the executive mansion, or they become national leaders, they're going to make informed decisions? Absolutely not. Because there was nothing that we can reference from their early stages of their political career to tell you and myself, or to tell me, not to speak for you, that they're going to have it done differently. No political tolerance. It's all about power struggle. I can take the decisions, I can win, you can win. They don't consolidate, they don't have a conversation. I disagree because I know Nyongli, she did a terrible job to get the CPP to be where it is. She was one of the chief facilitators that led to the destructions of CPP. As a mother, she should have done much better than that. I don't agree with most ability on this. From the few that I know, I yet to go to the in-depth of it. But by virtue of his position, the party chairman, you are the chief secretary of the political party. Even if the standard bearers does not want the party chairman, a convention. But again, Republic of Liberia is a land of itself. They have their own system. They have their own things that they create to give that absolute power to their leader, thus silencing the majority. And that's what we're seeing happening. He's going to be having a convention, so we are hearing in Ganta, Nima. So what happened? Why will you have institutions like that that is part of a political process to seek state power when there's no stability into the system? NDC needs to take charge. There's nothing about that. But you have also a corrupt NDC that can't even stand up for itself, that can't even defend his own way of doing things. So it makes it very difficult. So they put bone in our throat, and they have their own bone into their throat as well. That's the difficulties that we are having into the system. But until we all, or those that sits behind the microphone, can undo this sort of entertainment, when it is against them, they give it a back kick. They don't want to talk about it. They do not have the guts to discuss it. They do not want to inform. They do not want to educate. And we expect the electors to make informed decision comes presidential or legislative election. It's not going to happen. If you can't get the concept from the basis and you think you're just going to get on top there, no way. It's like you're not complete elementary school. It was inconclusive, and you jump, you say you want to go to the university. It's just not possible. I don't care how bright a student you might be, you're going to catch hell, because there are some basic things that you have to go through until these political institutions and these political actors can be a little bit tolerant, more political tolerance, discipline, be able to navigate, to work out things, even how it's not going to just be milky up in institutions or in a group, even in our own homes. It's not easy. What's about group of people to put together? But everybody wants to be the deal breaker. Everybody wants to be the Goliath in the house. So as a result, people wants to be the strong person in the house that they can make a decision and that decision can stand. That's what happened within the CPP today. We say here, some of our along here, the value of these major political leaders to take side without them allowing the process to play out, to see who is likable, who is winnable, who has the idea, but they are still in this fantasy land that, oh, he should be making this educated guess game, no facts, creating all sort of conspiracy. And they expect us to be quiet because they are in desperation to state power. We didn't do much the last time around to engage these people. But I can tell you, we will go beyond the threshold. We will go beyond this threshold. Either we invite them and they don't want to come because they are seeking to get amen when they say something for us to say in to be reciprocal to them. That's not going to happen on this network. It's not going to happen. So whether they come or they don't come, we'll discuss those issues that are vital to our political process and the good governance in the Republic of Liberia. Well, that's how we're going to draw the curtain down here this evening. I'm Alfonso Zay and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to thank you so much for your time, your evening, your morning hour, no matter where you are. Thank you. We do value your presence, your time, your conversation, your tweet, and send us suggestions as to how we can enhance the news aspect of this network. We intend and we will keep the news proportionate because you cannot disadvantage news. This is why we don't adjudicate people to that extent. We will talk, we will express our views, we express our opinions on the basis of the information provided, but we'll also go beyond to extend an invitation to these people to also get their side of the story. So we'll reach out to all of these actors. How the constitution is made. Is it in conformity with the election laws of Liberia, or NEC allow these political institutions to just draw out their own guidelines, constitutions outside of the constitutional concept of the laws that governs electoral process in the country? So how is it being done? Who is monitoring who? And they expect that these people with this sort of things that we are saying, that when these people take state power, we expect major court operations. No, it's just not possible. Folks, Liberia is our own. For those of you who are so dying or so desperately believes in your political party leaders, then the country, you need to have a second thought. Look at the histories of our political institutions and their leaders, where they left their parties today, knowing what we know now. Where are they? They are all faded away. But guess what? The Republic of Liberia is still standing tall, even though with the declined economic situation and all other things involved. And this is why it is important that we caution and we also hold our party leaders, especially those that are seeking state offices, accountable to their agenda. What are they bringing to the table? Don't come tell me you're going to bring job. How are you going to bring it? That's what I need to know. They need to start telling us their alternative plan different from what is not working now and the thing that it can work today and how that can be executed. And those that they are bringing in government, I expect the opposing side. For the CDC, we can't talk much because they are in the governance stage. Okay, so it's hard. They are already there. But when you are alternative, emphasis will be placed on you. So by this time, I expect to see the economic advisor to Alice Kumi to Joseph Boyka to begin to talk about the proposed budget, or their financial experts with these campaigns, spokesperson, to start taking line by line analysis, what is not working, to start having this sort of conversation. Then you see the process or the way out to good governance. But all of them quiet, nobody is talking. They only have their talk shows, their radio shows, their propagandists, their entertainers. They certain giving their views and opinion, and the thing that everybody just want to be in that basket of deplorable to believe in. Hell no, that's not going to happen. I want to see the economic advisor, maybe foreign policy, to Joseph Boycott or Alex Cummins, to start addressing some of these critical issues as to how the phase of the diplomatic war on their administration, how will Liberia be like? That's what we want to see. Until that can be done, we will pin them down. They need to do it. We are not asking them, we are not begging them. They need to do it. They need to have it done. As long as they want to be here, or they want to be the president of the Republic of Liberia. For the CDC and the George Weah, they will defend themselves when the time comes. Or the electorate is going to judge them. They have high enough of it. They can determine that. But when you are posting yourself as an alternative, you need to draw that contrast. This is what they are doing. We can't do this. This is what they did. It's not working. This is how we're going to do it. This is how you persuade. This is how you convince people. This is how you make people to believe in you that you can get it done differently. But when you have your supporters, your surrogates, your podcast host, that anybody, little thing somebody tweet on their thread, they're going to black them. And they can't even articulate the agenda of their candidate represent, then that's a sad story. Have a pleasant night and pleasant Sunday. By God's willing, we're going to be right back here on this network. Thursday, if all goes well, the Carry Ear Own Baby, we hope to host Professor Asese Labozawo as the nominee of the CDC-led government to be the superintendent designate of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MCSS. We are hearing his extensive conversation is ongoing, and he might be going to Liberia to hold more conversations on to how he's going to work. But before he goes, we need to hear from him as to how he's going to change. How can he go into a hostile situation or conditions, teachers maybe pay not coming? A lot is ongoing within the school system. I saw the proposed budget allotted to the Monrovia Consolidated School System. What is his thought on that? These and many more going to be a high-core conversation here. Not because he member one of the Lpr, so he's going to walk free. When he comes here, he have to answer all of the questions. Folks, thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Allez, deuxième bureau, à quoi de temps papa se dit pas de nous. Il a fait de maman. Aujourd'hui, il n'est plus là. J'ai fait des vagues. Samuel le chantre, on dit quoi? Oh, Amio. You don't buy it. Ina omono. Abaya koyo ni amome. No ye Yesu no de san odiayi. De ya no da bro akpebo no bro nyo. E mo je na le kwanya. You my muso bo bleng no